It's Tuesday morning and decided to check out of my hostel because for some reason they decided to charge me for breakfast. I was only having 2 pieces of toast. They wanted 30 yuan and you can buy a whole meal for under 20, and I ended up buying breakfast for only 13. So I checked out and now I've come down the other side of the main road to Lutiao, and I'm looking at a hostel down this alleyway. After walking around Beijing for about 2 hours and being told by Chinese to get all these different hotels that are between 300 and 900 yuan, I found this courtyard hostel which is only 80 yuan a night. I only found it because I ran into a Pommy, told me you're staying here. It's very good. Very impressed. And the statues in the middle of the courtyard. Rooms on the outside, of course. This is the outside of the little hostel, or guest house. It's got a very nice futon or laneway that it's in. Lovely smell from these trees here. So I'm happy. Only 80 yuan. It's 11:30 in the morning, Tuesday morning. We've just come to the Olympic Green, which is where the stadium is located, the aquatic centre. And if we have a look around here, there in the distance, a bird's nest, which is the Olympic Stadium. Just about to go over there. You can see a big McDonald's sign in the foreground, obviously. It took only about 20 minutes by subway to get here. Had to change trains twice, so 3 trains altogether to get here. However, it didn't take very long. There's the map of the area. In the centre there is the bird's nest, or the National Stadium. A number of parks and temples, and then in the distance at the top of the map is called the Olympic Forest Park. So we're going to head through this whole district here, starting with the bird's nest and then heading up north. Being Chinese and being in China, the water system is shaped like a dragon. There's the head of the dragon up the top there. This is the security checkpoint which you have to go through. Huge open area here, some interesting architecture too. This is the National Indoor Stadium. And then we swing around, see an interesting building there. Looks like it's all lopsided, hanging over, and then across this wide boulevard is the bird's nest. Bird is there, the outdoor stadium or national stadium, and it's now got a food court in front of it. Fancy looking lights, and then this building here. Strange looking building. I believe it's a hotel or a shopping centre. And then if I look down the boulevard, down in the direction of where the forest is, you'll see this other building which has a number of levels on it. Obviously too high for me to go up there. And just beneath the bird's nest is the Olympic Park Food Plaza. So I'll go and try some of the food. Here's a close-up of the bird's nest.
Let's go.
The Olympic Stadium.
Like the video. Let's go.
Nice close-up view. Just had my photo taken in front for $2 and laminated for $1. So I've got a pretty good photo here of myself in front of the bird's nest. Some proof that I did actually come here in Beijing. Bird's Nest National Stadium. To go inside the bird's nest has cost 50 yuan, which is about $9. Seems to be one stuff up after another. I'm just puffing because I could climb up the stairs, get to the top of the stadium. Yeah, just bought a ticket from the guys down below. Went to go through the entry just down there in that building. They stopped me because I got a child's ticket. I had to go back, get an adult's ticket. Then they told me I could only see the ballroom area for 50 because it was 80 to see the top. I came up the top anyway and no one stopped me. Looks like that's the soccer field, growing section. Now looking from the stadium at the indoor stadium, and looking from the bird's nest. I'm up near the top of the stands and I'm about to go inside. Right down there in the distance is Beijing. We're at the northern part of Beijing. So I'm now inside the stadium. You can see how steep it is looking down. Because I don't like heights, I'm hating this because I'm sitting up looking straight down on the stadium down below. Looks like it's been set up for some kind of water spectacular. The track has been covered. We look over towards the left here, we can see the remnants of the track. So they're setting up for some kind of spectacular here. So this is inside the bird's nest. Well, out of all the things I've seen in Beijing, this is probably one of the most impressive. It's a monstrous stadium. I think it takes 120,000 people. We can see how steep the seating is. There's a guy down the bottom cleaning the pool. And over here we can see the track, which has been covered. There's Harris running, throwing. Go Harris. Harris jumping. Here's a shot looking from the bird's nest. I'm up near the top story of it, looking up towards the Olympic forest. You see the football pitch in the foreground on the right, the Olympic green down the bottom in the foreground, and then the stadium's over on the left, and the convention centre up in the background there. And here you can see the architecture of the bird's nest. And a nighttime shot, reflection in the lake in the foreground. And here I am on the bottom level. Supposed to pay 50 for this, which is what I paid, 80 for the top level, but I paid 50 and still went up the top because there's no security to stop me. You can see in that very bright area, that's the track. That's where Usain Bolt would have been running the 100 and the 200. And this is the seating down the bottom. And up there where that guy's standing, that's just where I was, looking down on the stadium. See how high up it is. Monstrous stadium. It's a little wonder that Usain Bolt broke 2 world records here, 100 metres and the 200 metre world record. And I think they also broke the world record in the 4x100 with 120,000 people cheering on in the stadium. Let's see, 120,000 people hanging off the rafters here, cheering Usain Bolt on for the 100 world record, then the 200 world record, then the 4x100 world record. You can see all the modern buildings around this area too. Obviously this area has just been recently developed for the Olympic Games, and about 5 minutes ago I bought an Olympic gold medal for Harris, who deserves it. And now I'm going to head up the other end of Olympic Green, Olympic Park. Everything they build nowadays in China is done in a big way, and this is one of the walkways going up to the Olympic forest. It's got to be about 2 kilometres long, because I'm looking down about 1 kilometre here and I've already walked at 1k. I'm now about 1k north of the bird's nest, and we can see part of the dragon-shaped man-made lagoon that they've built alongside the Olympic City, Olympic Green. The bridge there, and this lagoon winds its way up to the end there, and the head of the dragon is up the top. It's about 20 to 2 and turned out a beautiful day. It's in the low 20s with a cool breeze. Beautiful walking around and clear blue skies. They've tried to marry the old with the new here. Got this old shrine here and behind it this modern building, platforms up the top, and then alongside is a shrine. And then they couldn't just do normal street lights, got these fancy street lights here, and then down below here is another piece of architecture. Very interesting. I'm about 2 kilometres away from the bird's nest at the moment. To laugh at this sign, how typically Chinese, tender fragrant grass, how hard-hearted to trample them. I have no idea what this is. I can tell you one thing, you won't catch me up there. And it's very high. This is a massive structure. I don't know how tall it is, but it's got to be well over 100 metres. I just found out that the Olympic forest is 680 hectares, which is equivalent to about 1,700 acres. And is actually bigger than the Summer Palace grounds, which are only 280 hectares. After half an hour walk, we're now entering Olympic Forest Park, the southern gate of the southern garden. So see what I can see here. Northern end Olympic Parks. Some of the sports involved here or catered for are the tennis courts, basketball court, futsal, soccer, badminton, sports and cultural square, hockey fields, chess, table tennis and fitness park, all contained in this one area, plus swimming and athletics. And up the northern end of the forest is the lake in the shape of a dragon's head. Some fish there. And to the left actually is the open air opera. Some very big goldfish here. Just a few hundred of them going crazy here. Expression, jammed in like sardines, or is jammed in like goldfish? We've got a big grassed area here where people sit apparently and watch the open air opera, which is held regularly on this stage here with the river in the background. The little lagoon, the shape of a dragon's head. So it's very nice coming to this park. It's certainly not crowded. You wouldn't think you're in a country with 1,500 million people, 1.5 billion people, because there's very few here. It does remind me a little bit of the gardens in Versailles because the music playing in the background when you're walking through. You realise how massive this park is when you see that I just walked in this little area down below here, and yet the park extends all this way up from the south to the north, and then it has a northern section as well. Total area of 1,700 acres. You could spend a week here and not see everything. So quite amazing in the middle of Beijing, or actually on the northern section of Beijing, this massive park. Back to the hostel by bus, cost me 17 cents. Female conductress. I haven't seen a male conductor yet on these buses. 3:30, back to the hostel, and it's showing a bit of a madness at intersections. The one goes every which way. They don't take any regard for crossings either. They'll run you over if you don't move. Extremely rude when they drive. Don't care if you're on the crossing, they'll just drive straight through you. Just before I leave Beijing, just want to take some movies of typical Beijing hutong or alleyway, laneway. See all the food vendors here, and then it goes into residential area. Very colourful. Fruit and veggies up on the left. Haven't seen a lot of older Chinese, mostly young in Beijing, working in the offices here. There's an old guy. I have to take a shot of this before I leave Beijing. Always along the street I see people playing mahjong or cards. Mostly the old guys. There are actually quite a few old guys want to have a look. And mahjong in the foreground and cards in the background. This is a different system. In this restaurant you take a basket here and you choose your ingredients. They're priced from 3 yuan down to 1 yuan, which is 1 yuan is only 17 cents. And here's the 1 yuan on the top shelf, then 2 yuan down here, and then 3 yuan on the bottom shelf, which is all your fish and meats, chicken. So I've taken 2 lots of chicken, and then you put it in a basket here, and then they make a soup out of it. So that's my soup. I've got broccoli, cauliflower, noodles, vegetables, and some chicken. So all of that put into a soup, and a drink as well cost me 15 yuan, which is less than $3. And 7 minutes later, this is the soup made up with the ingredients I chose, and you take the drink away, it's cost me less than $2.50. Well, today started out a crappy day. The weather was crappy, it was cold and wet, and had to move out of the hostel. I had trouble finding a new one. Walked around for about 2.5 hours before I found a decent one. Everything's turned out well. Had a great day at the Olympic Village and found a good hostel, and even the weather changed. It turned out a beautiful sunny day.